welcome. My name is Apero. If you don't know me, I am an Australian Gwent streamer living in Germany. Here I've got for you the Skellige Beginner Challenges. I hope you enjoy these videos. If you haven't already, please do hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate it. I'll bring you loads more beginner and intermediate content, as well as gameplay highlights, weird, wonderful moments. These are live recordings from my stream, so if you haven't checked out my stream, check that out too. And yeah, enjoy the videos, and I hope you learn lots. Bye. All right, let's do our final challenge, guys. How's my camera doing? It's kind of not holding focus a lot, is it? There we go. It's a little bit better. Okay. So we're going to go into our final challenge, the final countdown. This one's called Immortal Islanders. King Bran's enemies would swear they crossed swords with warriors they had killed personally during earlier battles, not just once, but 2 times or more. Most think this foolish superstition, the wild tales of scarred soldiers, nothing more. But those who know Skellige well give such stories much credence. In the Isles, death is not permanent. Ooh. Okay, that tells us a little bit about our opponent, Henselt. It says, watch out for Henselt. He can bring many units onto the board in one move. We're going to have a little look at that in a bit. And then, of course, it reminds us of Bran's ability. Use Bran to send cards to the graveyard, then resurrect them when the time is ripe. Very good. Start battle, and then we'll move into our other scene. Bing!
Men of Kedwen, attack!
Alright. Henselt, King of Kedwen. Alright, so before we begin, let's have a little look at what Henselt actually does, because this is important. Henselt is a leader. He's only worth 3 power, but he has very strong ability. He has the ability to choose a bronze machine or Kedweni ally, one that is on the board on their side, right? So he can choose a bronze machine or a Kedweni ally. We'll know they're Kedweni by this tag. They'll say Kedwen. And you can play all copies of it from your deck. So, keeping in mind that bronze cards can have up to 3 copies, this means you have to play 1 copy, right, on the board. And then you play Henselt, select that machine or Kedweni ally, and it will draw the other 2. If there are 2 in your deck, it'll draw 2 of them out. If there's 1 in your deck, it'll draw 1 out onto the board. So it allows us to play it's a pretty strong move. It also has the crew ability, which we'll have a look at in a bit once it becomes a little more relevant. So they've started with the Siege Tower, which is a machine, which means it is a machine. It is a card that Henselt could target if he wanted to, right? It boosts itself by 2 when it's first played. It's 8 power. It boosts itself by 2, and when it's crewed, which we'll see soon, it boosts itself by 2 again. So actually, to begin with, we have a few options. I think we might actually just start pinging it down with our hunters before we do anything else. We could just destroy it straight away. If we destroy it straight away, that means that Henselt cannot select it. So it's not a bad idea. But on the other hand, if Henselt is going to be played for a big point swing, it's kind of not terrible if they do it early in the game when we don't care quite so much. Not when we win coin flip, right? If we had lost the coin flip and we were at card disadvantage and they did something like that, we would never catch up. It would be catastrophe. But in this position, it's not as bad. We just let them play their points out when we don't care as much about it. That said, I think we're just going to start with our own move, and I think we're just going to... I think we'll just do some... Oh, it's toughy, isn't it? Oh, so many options. We can do some thinning. We can get some cards out of our deck. That's probably the safest move at this point. So let's actually do that. Again, we're getting rid of our 2 raiders. Where are they? There they are. And our skirmisher, there he is. Put them all in the graveyard. The On-Crate Raiders, again, doing their ability, which is to resurrect themselves whenever discarded. Yeah, there we go.
Attack!
Okay. So now I can explain to you exactly what crew means. You might have noticed that these 2 units are worth 10, but this unit is worth 12. but you can clearly see that they are all the same card. So why is this one worth 12 when these two are worth 10? Well, the answer lies in the crew and crude tag. Henselt here has the crew tag. This means that when a crude unit, here, crude unit, is played next to him, their extra ability is deployed. Okay? So Henselt was on the board. They played this siege tower next to Henselt. So their crude ability, which is to repeat, was deployed. So its normal ability, it's 8 points. You play it, it boosts itself by 2. Now because it's next to a crew unit, it's again boosted by another 2 points. And thus, we get a 12-point unit here, whereas these two that were not played next to a crew unit still remain 10 points. Okay, so now we have a choice available to us. We are 23 points behind. It's quite a lot, but we do also have a way to get rid of 12 points immediately. We have 11 points here. We have 15 here. It's not the end of the line for us. So I think that what we're going to do is actually just play this Manticore Venom and destroy this siege tower. It's almost full value. Not quite, but almost. If they pass, then we win this round down 1 card, which is fine. But if we can make up the difference, then we could still win this on even or with them going down 2 cards. So we're just going to try to make up this point difference. There we go. So they pass. So we don't need 11 points. We need 12 to win. Please remember here, the On-Create Warrior damages itself by 1. This is not a 12-point play. This is an 11-point play. We cannot play that card. Unfortunately, as a result of our decisions, we also can't play our Shield Maidens to thin our deck. So it's a bit problematic. What we have to do is to play Geralt. It's our only option here. Or, actually, I'm kind of lying. It's not our only option. We could also resurrect the Skirmisher with our Priestess of Freya. I actually think that might be the better move, because playing him in this round will put him in our graveyard for later, and he'll be strengthened up by 3 at that point. So he'll be 9 plus 3 points strengthening, so he'll be 12, plus the 1 point of the Freya, which is 13, which is enough. So we're going to do it that way, actually.
Bow before modern Freya.
Here we go.
Let's not get in the way of me axe.
Okay, so now at 2 points up, we win down 1 card. Absolutely fine. Apero TV, is there something hitting your mic? There is a very quiet sound like something is bumping against it. Are you sure that's not the fan? There's a fan on me. I'm not doing anything. Hang on, I'm going to be quiet for a second and we'll see. It's probably just the fan. It's super quiet. Yeah, it's probably just the fan then. Danstry says a YouTube stream. That's right. So I'm just recording myself playing through the Skellige challenges so I can load them up on YouTube like I did for the Northern Realms challenges. Okay. So again, we're in this situation here where we have quite a bit of power in our hands. And we've down 1 card. Now, there's a few choices that can be made here. If we think that we have a really kick-ass hand and we want a long round, what we can do is dry pass. As a reminder, dry passing means you pass without playing any cards. Now, if we do that, they play 1 card, we go into the next round, they start the round, and we have last say. Again, a reminder, last say means that we play the last card of the round, of the game. Really. There are pros and cons to doing that. The advantage we could have by doing so is pretty good, because our alternative is to play into this round. Now, if we play a card, we are 2 cards down, and we have to make sure that we are far ahead enough that they will be able to, or that they will have to spend 2 cards to catch up to us. So we're kind of, it's sometimes a good choice. It's sometimes a good choice, and it often depends on what your strategy is and what your opponent's strategy is. If you work better in a short round, maybe you want to play out round 2, get out as many of their cards, get out as much of their power as possible. We call that bleeding. So we know that they're going to win this round, but we're just trying to get their good cards out of them. And then you go into round 3 for a super short round that you are confident you're going to win. Maybe your opponent is really good in long rounds. And so you want to take advantage of the fact that, or maybe not take advantage of, but you want to make sure they don't have a long round in round 3. So there's a few different things that you could come up against that might determine whether you want a short round or a long round. In this particular instance, I think we're just going to go with the dry pass, just to guarantee ourselves that we're going into round 3 with last say. And I think that's the best option. The risk, of course, as a reminder, we did not play this card earlier, so there's a possibility we draw into one of them. If we do, it's a 3-point card. It's nothing we can do about it, which would be a real shame, but I think in this particular instance, it's a risk we should take. I've got a lot of bad dad jokes going on in my chat right now.
Carny Vettles, hungry like a wolf I am.
Serbian Weatherman says, what lies at the bottom of the ocean and twitches? A nervous wreck. And Hild says, what's the best Christmas gift? A broken drum. It's unbeatable. Very good. All right, so we did not draw into a shield maiden. That's good. Phew.
Carny Vettles,
Okay,
hungry like a wolf
so this is the same card they played last turn. This is the poor fucking infantry. It's correct, actually, by the way. It's a 6 power unit, but it spawns a left flank infantry and a right flank infantry on either side. As you can see here, it actually makes a little panoramic picture of these guys all standing together. It's basically just 10 points, but it's across 3 cards. Sometimes it's beneficial to have more cards on the board, such as with what we call a swarm deck. And in this particular instance, we haven't seen yet whether it's a swarm deck or whether it benefits them, but it's good to know about. Okay, so we're just going to open with our shield maidens, just get our 9 points, get them out of the deck.
Now! All together!
Bad dad jokes are the currency of the future. That's from Cards Against Humanity.
Like me. You really
Right?
like me.
Oh, Rivenai. Rivenai says, want to know the best joke about paper? Wait, no, never mind. It's terrible. Oh, it's so bad. That's so bad. Okay, so we just got hit by a battering ram. Okay, the battering ram is another crude unit. It deals 3 damage to an enemy. If that enemy is destroyed, you get to deal 3 damage to another enemy. We had 3 3-point units on the board, so unfortunately we played right into this card. It killed the first shield maiden, and then it killed the second one because it got to hit him again. If it's got a crew next to it when it's played, then you can hit the first hit is worth 4. So it increases initial damage by 1. So the first hit is worth 4, and then 3 after that. Always 3 after that. So we've actually got Holger Blackhand. We're going to use Holger Blackhand here to kill the battering ram straight away. And boost, in turn, our skirmisher by 3? Yeah, by 3. Like so.
Onward!
There we go. Don Corgi says, how do you call a deer with no eyes? I have no idea. You should feel ashamed of yourself. Okay, here we go. So they're just beating us up some more. Very kind, very kind. So we're not going to play any small units right now. I think we'll actually play... Actually, let's play some of our weaker units. We're going to play Jutta first. For an easy 12.
So, no one else dares face
If we
me?
play this low stuff, they're going to just keep pinging us down with different things.
Looking to dance, mate?
Alright, this is a pretty basic card. Mauler, 7 power, deals 4 damage. Easy. Relatively uncomplex. Okay, here we go. We're just going to drop our On-Crate Warrior. We're just keeping the units high, just trying to make them more difficult to kill. My grandma is called Jutta? There you go. Did not know that. Just gonna drop Geralt for in easy 15.
Any last words?
Ah, and of course Roach, yet again, who I forgot about again. So yeah, the Adelian Maulers, you can see, they're not Kidweni, so they couldn't ever have been summoned by Henselt. They're also not crew, so they don't help any of the machines out. They're just very basic cards. Alright, so we're not going to play all of our archers because we need to save one for Hjalmar. But we are going to play these two. Right, we're going to play these two, get full value. We're then going to play our priestess to summon out what will be an 18-point skirmisher. Then we'll play our Hjalmar. We're going to kill the Lord of the Undvik with another hunter. And then our last move will be the Oncrate Warrior on the Hjalmar for the extra boost. And if for some reason that is pinged down, then we can also use the Oncrate Warcrier on the skirmisher, which will be worth 18 points. That's our plan, folks.
What is it?
What do you call a deer with no eyes and no legs? Still no idea. That's god awful. Alright, so here we see a really great card. This is one of my favorite cards, actually. I really like this card. This is a Kaedweni card. So this one could have, when Henselt was around, could have been summoned by Henselt. It is a 7-power unit. Whenever an ally appears, boost it by 1. Seems simple. If it's a machine, also give it 1 armor. That makes machines just that little bit more difficult to destroy. And, in addition, it's a crew unit. Very good. The thing is, they've played this unit after playing all of these units. So, let's just think. If they played the siege support first, they would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more points on their side of the board. Plus, as a crew unit, they could have gotten 4 points from the first battering ram that they played. So if, for example, something like Roach were out, they could have gotten that extra point that way by making their first hit worth 4 instead of worth 3. So they basically missed out on at least 8 points of value by playing that now instead of earlier. Okay, so we're just gonna start hitting that one down.
What is it?
We don't like them when we're playing against it.
Salutations.
And now you can see it in action. This card is played, and the siege support boosts it. Yeah. At this point, we don't really have a way to deal with that, so we're just going to focus on making it our own value. Because, as I said, I want to save the hunter to deal with the Hjalmar. Oh! That's something I didn't think of. Uh-oh, Spaghetti-O. Okay. So, now things just got interesting, right? We played the Lord of the Undvik on their side, but because these 2 units were on the board, it boosted it to 7. That means suddenly our hunter does not deal enough damage to deal with that unit. Uh-oh. So now we have 2 options, right? We either play a hunter to kill the first one, and then we res another hunter. Do we have one? We don't even have one. It's not even an option. If we had another hunter in our graveyard, we could resurrect it and then kill it. But it'd be a little bit of a waste, I feel, actually. So we're not going to worry too much about that. We're just going to keep going with our strategy. I suspect we've got enough points anyway. We can... Here's the conflict, right? We can use the hunter to kill this for 2. We lose 3 points of value by doing that, because we have 5 points of damage and we'd hit it only by 2. We lose 3 points of value, but if there is more than 3 in here, so for example, if one of these has a summon effect, we actually gain that value back. If it's just 2 cards, just 2 straight up and down cards, then we don't gain any value. I'm going to take a risk and assume that these are not summoning cards. There could be another poor effing infantry, in which case I will be wrong. But I'm going to take a risk here and try something else. I'm going to try just hitting another unit by 5. Just get maximum value. Rookie mistake, says someone I know, right?
Done.
Oh.
Yes, sir.
Wow, okay. Odrin. Odrin is a very interesting card. Northern Realms card, 11 power. Oh, sorry, not 11 power. It's usually 7, right? 8. Sorry, my bad. 8 power. At the start of each turn, oh, it's unfortunate for them, he moves to a different row and boosts them. Boosts every unit on that row by 1. This is bad for us, but they played it too late, yet again. All of these cards could have been giving boosts from the start of their turn, but instead they've played them as their last cards. Not great. So we are going to actually play our 18-point skirmisher now, and then we're going to drop the war crier onto that skirmisher.
Maldron
Hey
Frey
Shin
is
Mary, how you
patient,
doing?
But she brooks no insult.
Here we go. We resurrect the skirmisher. He's 15 now. He will strengthen himself by 3.
Crack and eat me ghoulies.
There it is.
Looky here.
They get their 4 points, but it's too little too late, I think. We're going to find out, but I suspect we've got this.
Oh, I'm a medic. I know
Whoop.
what I'm doing when I prescribe something.
Did I speak too soon?
Try to win 'em all.
Oh no! Punished! Okay, we still win, but I was totally punished. So Odrin could move to this and give them an extra 4 points, so it could be 12 behind, but it's still enough. So this is going to be an on-crate war crier. It's going to boost the skirmisher by 9, so it's 14 points. So even if Odrin lands there, I think we're safe.
Skellige!
Unless I've miscounted the rounds. Unless I've miscounted rounds, but I think I'm good. Alright, there we go. That was the closest challenge we've had so far, I have to say. And thus concludes the Skellige Challenges. Hi everyone, me again. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please do hit that subscribe button and I hope to see you on my stream soon. See ya!